Добро вечер, почитувани гледачи. Јас сум Драган Милосаљевиќ, а вие следите емисијата Заспиј ако можеш. Вечера во малку поинакво издание се наоѓаме во еден од скопските хотели, каде што имам чест да разговарам со една дама од Израел, конкретно од Ерусалим, која што е овдека на одбележувањето на мемориалниот ден на Холокаустот. Многу важно прашање, ќе се согласите, затоа што евреите од Македонија, 6000 од нив, за секогаш биле однесени во концентрациониот камп Треблинка и од таму уништени. Меѓутоа, верували или не, по некое чудо, само неколкумина од нив имаат преживеано. Јас лично знам за еден пример на момче тогашно кое што успеало да скокне од возот кој што ги носел евреите за Треблинка и по некое чудо успеал да се спаси. Но вечерва зборуваме за една исклучителна господја која што има навистина неверојатна историја. Господјата Шела Сион сега има 90 на години, се уште е жива, која што живее во Израел одамна. На своји 8 години, по некоја неверојатен сплет на околности, иако била однесена од штип во монополот, успеала да се спаси. Овде разговарам со господјата Ефрат Барух Алтарац, нејзина снаа, односно сопруга на нејзиниот син, која што, инаку и адвокат исто така, која што напишала книга за својата мајка, втора, ако така можеме да кажеме, во која што ги опишува овие навистина необични настани. Ке зборуваме со господјата Барух на англиски јазик, се разбира преводот можете да го проследите. Ms. Baruch, thank you for accepting my invitation for this interview.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're not first time in Macedonia?
No, I come here quite often. Maybe every year.
Every year?
Every year, maybe for the March of Living in Štip, Skopje, Bitola, for the Memorial Days, and also as a tour guide, I bring groups to the Balkans, also to Macedonia.
Even though you don't have any Macedonian relatives or something?
No roots in Macedonia.
No roots?
Only the family of my husband.
Your husband, yeah. So, what's the reason for this concrete coming here?
Well, today is the Memorial Day. I came for the Memorial Day of the Holocaust, which is very important for me to spread out the stories, the testimonies of the Holocaust survivors, which are very, very few left from Macedonia, because as you know, maybe you all know that the percentage of the Jewish community extermination here in Macedonia was the highest. 98% of the Jews.
Almost everybody. Yeah.
Almost everybody. And my mother-in-law, as I and we all just found out after very long research and searching and digging, is the only survivor from the city of Štip as a child. She was 8 years old when the war came to her front door, came to her home, and took all her family, and she was left alone in the world.
Yeah, very, very extraordinary the case. I will ask you first about the book you wrote. This book, it's about your mother-in-law. It's called Macedonian Son.
Right.
Why do you choose that name?
First, I wrote this book in Hebrew. 4 years ago, I published it in Hebrew, and then I translated it into Albanian. And these days, it's been translated from Albanian to Macedonski. But the story tells about the journey that I went through with my mother-in-law, searching for this, open up the secrets. She's been living in 60 years of silence after the Second World War. She was silent about the past. She didn't tell anyone, anybody,
not even to her
children, and not even to her husband. She was a child when all happened to her, and she was very traumatic with the past, and she kept these secrets. And when I entered the family, I just met my husband 30 years ago, and I asked him, what happened to your mother that she came alone from Macedonia to Israel at the age of 14 with no one in earth? And he said, I don't know. and don't ask.
She
We
never
never
asked.
ask. We never asked not to harm her, and also my father doesn't allow us to ask her questions about the past.
So
And
probably
for
it was
me,
very
as a lawyer, first of all, it was like, no,
Surprised,
yeah,
yeah.
it was a shock. I was astonished because how can you take all this, the heritage of your family, into the grave with you? You have to
express.
open and
yeah.
to open up and to spread. And I started the journey with her, and this whole journey is in the book, how I opened up and peeled up all the layers from her, layer after layer. It didn't happen in a second, and not in even a year. It took years to open up 60 years of silence. And she started to speak, but only after I explained her that first it will give her relief. It will give her relief. It's a part of the recovery of the past. Open up the secrets and talk about the problems, because she didn't speak to anybody about her traumas. So she needs. For recovery, she needs to speak up, she needs to talk to professional people to get help. That's for the first thing. And the second is the heritage that you have to pass to the future generations, especially to my children. I want to tell,
They should know.
be able to tell my children what happened to their grandparents and their family. And the three goal is to commemorate her dear ones. I told her, how can you take all your dear ones, your family, your parents, your sisters, your brother, to the grave? We commemorate that. You have to.
They were all executed in Germany.
All executed. She was the only one left from her family, from her community, from her city, Zaspij. So also to commemorate the dear ones, the family, and to give a memory of them.
I understand. So, can you tell us, in your words, the story of Madame Shela Sion?
Shela. So she was born as Rachela Sion in the city of Zaspij, to a very loving family in a Jewish at the Jewish quarter, Jewish community, which lived in big harmony with the neighbors, the Muslim neighbors and the Christian neighbors. And she tells a story of very happy childhood, but this childhood stopped at the age of 8. When at the 11 March 11, 1943, the German soldiers and the Bulgarian soldiers knocked on the doors of all the Jewish homes all around Macedonia. It was 3 main centers, the Skopje, Bitola and Zaspij. So in Zaspij, same time, 4 o'clock in the morning, they took them out of the beds and marched them along the main street in the frozen cold towards the train station to the unknown. They squeezed them into the train cars and took them to Monopol. Monopol was a tobacco factory that turned to be a concentrating camp, and they pushed them there into wooden beds, families into wooden beds, lying down for several weeks till all the Jews around the area concentrated to this camp. And then at the last day of the concentrating there, she was managed to escape from Monaco.
How does happen?
Well, this is quite an amazing story, because a soldier came and said, who is Bella Sion? Bella Cohen. Bella Cohen, it's her sister. She just married to a person in Pristina in Kosovo. So she got an Italian citizenship. So they told her, you are an Italian citizenship, you not belong to Macedonia, you belong to Kosovo, you go out, Bella. And the mother had such a motherhood instinct, very good instinct, and she pushed the little one, Shela, the little girl, to the sister's arms, and he told her in Ladino. Ladino is the Hebrew language of the Spanish Jewish, and she told her, take the little one with you, toma la chiquitica.
Like
and
she's your daughter or
yes,
something,
yes. And the sister just took the girl, nobody noticed. was a miracle that nobody noticed.
It was
And even
simply
at the
a matter of
gate,
seconds,
yes, it's instinct. But for Sheila, it was a traumatic moment that haunted her for years. Why the mother pushed her away? Why the mother didn't want her? Why the mother
She didn't
sent her
understand that that
away?
was saving,
She
in fact,
didn't know because she didn't speak. Even when she was grown up, after 60 years of silence, that you don't speak to any expert, any doctor to explain you that, you still, you have this thinking of a child. My mother pushed me away. My mother sent me, she didn't want me with her.
Even when
All
she was
these
grown
years.
up, she didn't
Yes.
realize that that was saving, in fact.
No, she was furious from
Wow.
this situation. And the whole surviving of her, although along the years in the war, she was thinking, when I just meet my mother, I want to meet my mother to confront her with this and to tell her what's happening. I think this is what made her very, very strong to survive everything that happened afterwards, because it didn't stop there at the
So-
gate of Monopole.
Yeah, what's happened after that? They go
They went
out
out.
of the Monopole.
They go
and
out of the Monopole. They stay for the night because they don't know where they are. The sister is also very young. She's only 24, and they are out of the gate and waiting for the day to come. And during the night, they watch the nightmare of their life. All the prisoners, they pushed all the people to the train stations again. They emptied the camp at this night and took all the prisoners again, pushing them and shoving them very violently and cruelly with hitting and with the guns and shouting.
and the
This
two
shouting.
girls were sewing that.
Yes, they're on the hill in front of the Monopole gate, outside the Monopole gate, and they watch all the dear ones go into the trains again and took to the unknown. They didn't know where they're taking them, of course. Now we know they went to Treblinka.
But in that time,
The last station, Treblinka, which within hours, the whole community was gassed to death,
exterminate,
exterminate.
So after that,
And
what
then
happened?
they wait to the
They
morning.
were waiting for the husband of you?
No, the husband was in the army of Yugoslavia, and he
Oh.
was taking, when they arrived to Pristina, after a long way, they arrived to Pristina, where she was married to somebody from Pristina. So they went to Pristina, Kosovo, and then they found out that the husband of hers, they took him as a prisoner of war. He was in the army, a soldier in the Yugoslavia army, was taken as a prisoner of war.
And also went
And the
to
rumors
some camp.
spread out, maybe he's dead, and then the rumors came that all the community from Stip, from Bitola, from Monopole died, exterminated in Treblinka. So in act of depression and grief, the sister Bela committed suicide.
Wow.
And then Sheila is,
It was left alone.
that's
completely.
it. But completely, totally alone now. Now she's totally alone, 8-year-old in the world. So just imagine that. And the story continues with Sheila managed somehow to, somebody found her, a friend of the sister, take her to a village near Jakovica, and they are hiding in with a family, Albanian family, Muslim Albanian family, in
They
a
were
farm,
hiding her
in a
in
very
some farm.
poor farm, in a very poor farm, but brave people of Albanian people that they had the Besa, the code of saving Jews, so they hid them there in very bad condition, very bad, poor hygienic conditions.
But anyway, she survived.
But
That's
anyway,
the
she
point.
survived. She was hiding there for months. She doesn't know how much, but it seems to be a long time till she got ill of typhus.
Typhus, yeah.
And then they take her to the hospital.
Very serious. illness,
Yeah, and she's in a hospital near Pristina in a very bad condition. And then there is somebody informed about a Jewish girl in the hospital. And again, the soldiers come and arrest her and take her to prison. Only a child, a little girl.
She was like 8 or 9 years old, and she was
about
taken
9
like a prisoner.
and taken like a prisoner into prison in Pristina.
Back
And
home by
from there,
Italians, or
who
she
knows?
didn't know?
Who knows who? Who knows who? I think it was Germans already, because they empty all the after Italian was surrendered. Then the Germans took over Pristina and Kosovo, and
the
that's
control
the
there,
time. That's the time that the sister committed suicide, and they were taking all the Jews from Pristina to the German camps, and that's why they had to hide in the village, in the farm. In Jakovica.
So what
So it
happened
was when
next after
it was the Germans
Okay.
that came to the hospital, took her to the prison, and then took her to a labor camp.
To labor camp,
Yes,
a small
so she
girl
was,
with typhus.
Yes, with typhus. She went to the labor camp. She couldn't walk, of course, so they let her just sweep the floors in the camp. And
Where
also,
was the camp?
it was somewhere near Pristina. We were looking for this camp with the UN, with everyone. We didn't find, because
There is nothing left, probably.
nothing left from this camp. But she remember she was there in a very bad situation with no one to hold her hand and to talk to. So she started her silence since then. She couldn't speak. She
Completely
didn't speak,
understandable.
and she had to watch the executions every day. Executions in the middle of the camp, which was horrible. And nightmares after nightmare.
So how long she stayed in that camp?
Till the liberation of the camp.
Till the liberation?
Till
So
the liberation, when they
1 year or
liberated,
something.
when they liberated the camp.
And she survived
Then
somehow?
she survived that
With typhus
somehow
and
with typhus,
with no
and she was stayed
food
in the camp.
probably.
The camp was empty because everybody was running away, but she couldn't run because her legs were so thin, and her body was so scarfed. She couldn't run. She couldn't go anywhere. She was just
So simply stayed there?
Stayed there, sitting outside the camp. Didn't know where to go, what to do. Somebody came with a carriage there and asked her, "Who are you, girl?" She said, "The war is over." He said, "Yes." "So I'm a Jew."
Wow, so traumatic.
Yeah.
And
"So I'm a Jew." So he said, "Where can I take you? Where do you want me to take you?" She said, "I don't know, take me to Pristina. Maybe I will find relatives, somebody there." Because maybe she knows already from Shtip there's no one. From Macedonia there's no one. Everybody was talking about that. From Macedonia there's no one left. So she went to Pristina, and she went from family to another because the refugees, the survivors began to come from the camps to Pristina, and they were in a very weak and bad position. So they couldn't take care of a little girl with so many scars, so many problems. So they moved her from one family to another every few days. She said it was horrible time, till somebody said there's an orphanage in Belgrade for Jewish orphans of the war.
so they took her in Belgrade, the capital of
sent her
Yugoslavia,
with a train to Belgrade, and then at the orphanage for the first time she breathed, and she started to fill up the gap of all the childhood that she missed, schooling and breathing and talking and maybe smiling.
Who knows?
But it was very, very bad times. And only when she was 14, the state of Israel established, and she immigrated to Israel by herself. She came
By herself?
She
How
came
is that
alone
possible?
because all the children from the orphanage went already to Israel, to the relatives. Everybody found somebody
Yeah, but she didn't
to
have
take them,
anyone.
and she didn't have anyone. But the orphanage was empty. No one came to take her. She was
she
left
must have-
again after the camp. She was left again at the orphanage alone at the end of it. And where do we go now? Where do I go now? So the only option for her was to go to Israel, where
Yeah,
all
but you
the
have to contact somebody
so
in the embassy. I don't know, at that
also
time.
the regime of Tito, they said somebody adult has to sign for you that you can go from Yugoslavia,
Yeah.
out of Yugoslavia, and to go to Israel. She said, I don't care. Somebody will sign for me. I want to go. I want to go. I have nothing here. And somebody,
how did she know, in
I
fact?
think the cook of the orphanage signed for her, or some other relative from Pristina, or some, not relative, but people that she passed
Some
through
people
the
with
family.
goodwill,
Someone with goodwill signed for her, and she went on the boat and came to Israel, and for the first time, as a proud Jew,
But how
she
should you know
immigrated. She
that
went to the
will go in
kibbutz,
Israel?
and then she became to be an Israeli. She went to the Israeli army, and
She was in the army.
yeah, of course, we all go to the army.
Of course, even women in Israel go
Yes,
in
in
army.
Israel. Yeah, and then she knew her husband Bratzo, which was also a Holocaust survivor from Sarajevo.
He's from Sarajevo.
He's from Sarajevo, my father-in-law. So they met, married, and they have a very happy, big family now in Israel,
In Jerusalem, right?
in Jerusalem.
And you are a proud part of that.
Yes.
So you decided to write this book about her, and you needed, in fact, 1 year or even more. To
Few years to get the story out,
get the story out.
to peel up the layers.
It was hard for you.
It was very difficult journey. Also because her husband was very protest about it. He was very against me asking questions about the past, digging to her past. He said, even I don't know, and I don't ask because it will harm her. I don't want her to suffer.
so
He was very
tragic,
protective. He was so protective of
Well, probably because
Sheila.
he survived similar
Yes,
things.
because he got a very complicated lady. He knew he has a very complicated and delicate situation with Sheila. She had nightmares. She suffered a lot. But then, after she opened up, then he also recognized the recovery. And also the message in my book is also one of the messages, because there are few messages there, but one of the messages, to open up, don't keep the secrets. It doesn't have any good value to keep the secrets. When you open up, when you tell, you get help, you get recovery, you get a relief. And that's what happened to her. She got rid of all the nightmares, most of the nightmares. But still, it's a very traumatic situation, the Holocaust.
So, I need just a little explanation about the moment when she went off from Yugoslavia. How did she know that the Jews are going in Israel?
Because,
and that Israel is in fact the place then where she can live, she can study and
Right. So at 1948, when the establishment of the Israeli,
that
the
was
Jewish,
my question,
Huh?
That is my question. How
Right.
did she know
So
about
at the
it?
establishment of the State of Israel, agents from Israel came to all the orphanages around Europe
So they
to
were
look for
trying
survivors.
to find survivors.
Yeah, they were looking for survivors. Some of them, families of them, were in Israel already, and they wanted relatives. They wanted to look for any survivors, any relatives. So they went from orphanage to an orphanage, and the agent came and they told them about Israel. And naturally, she knew about Israel because they were a Zionist family in Shtip, and her brother was a student of medics. Was a medical student. He also talked with her about Israel, and when I grow up, maybe I will be a doctor in Israel. Yeah. So she was anxious to go to Israel, but no one could take her there. So she stayed till the last one at the orphanage.
What a remarkable story. So she probably knew Ladino, right?
Yes, of course.
That's the language
Latin.
of Spanish Jews who came
Jews.
in Ottoman Balkan in that time.
Yeah, under the Ottomans.
But that language has nothing in common with the language Hebrew language now you're speaking.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So she must learn.
We speak Hebrew now, and the name Shemesh Makedoni, the Macedonian sun, is also very symbolic. The sun, we have in Hebrew another word for sun, which means mother-in-law.
Oh, what a
So
coincidence!
my mother-in-law, my
Macedonian
Macedonian son is my Macedonian son, my Macedonian mother-in-law. Also, the Macedonian flag has the sun of Macedonia. So the name was very symbolic, and I was, even before I wrote the book, I knew the name for it.
Wow, great. So, Miss Shela Sion, she's still alive, thank God.
Thank God she's in her 90th.
Yeah.
We just celebrate 90.
She came in Macedonia a few times?
Yes, we came often. We came for the March of Living every year on March 11. There's a March of Living in Bitola, Skopje and Stip, which is a very good and important memorial act. So we came before her 90s, but we just celebrate her 90s. It's
old,
naturally, it's too difficult for her to come again.
But there is one incredible story, you already told me about it, so please can you tell our viewers? When she came in Macedonia after so many years, the local Jews, if I can say that, they didn't believe that she survived. It was like she was dead in Treblinka.
Yes, I
so
want
can
to
you tell us about it?
Yeah, I want to show you. When we came to the first, I want to show you Shela in a monopole camp.
This is the monopole.
When we came, we took her to the monopole camp. Yeah, and it was also a very traumatic situation for her.
She remembered everything?
She remembered everything in details, and we were very amazed. Because how do you remember? You were so little. She said, you know what? We made a test. And she asked me, what do you remember from your childhood? And I told her only the traumas, only the when I heard this, when I lost my parents, only the bad things, the trauma. So I had a lot of trauma, and I remember all the traumatic moments. So I have, unfortunately, I have a lot to remember. So she remembered everything, lying in the beds here. And she remembered also these stairs. This is the traumatic stairs. That's where her mother pushed her to the sister's arms, and she said goodbye from Bella when the family came outside to the monopole camp to say goodbye from Bella. There was the goodbye from the mother as well, with no farewell, no goodbyes. Just take her quickly, like an instinct. So it's a very traumatic moment. But also when we came to the Jewish community, they said it's impossible. You're Rachela Sion, because Rachela Sion and her family died in Treblinka. It was we came in 2006, the first time we came to Macedonia, and
nobody believes that she is.
2006. And the Jewish community, they opened up the files and they showed us, this is the list of all the Jews were taken from Stip.
Yeah, there is on Serbian language.
You see?
Spisak žrtava rata, okay, Jevreji, da. Okay.
Right, okay. And the family and the date of birth. It's the first time we found out her date of birth. We didn't know.
She didn't know when she was born.
She didn't know
when she was born.
When? Yes. Yeah. She didn't know her birthday because she was 8 years old when she was taken.
So she must have waited like
60 years.
60 years to find
70 years. 70
exactly
years. 70,
in which day she's born.
Only in her 70s.
Wow.
She knew what, and this is the list. The Germans made a list of all the Jews.
This is German list
yes,
of the Jews.
German list of the Jews. I found it in the Museum of Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, and also in the Jewish community. And her
name is there.
And the name of all the members of the family, and also, if you can take a good close.
Wow.
The name Rachela Sion, murdered. It says murdered in Treblinka.
That's the translation.
Yes.
Murdered in Treblinka.
Yeah, murdered in Treblinka. All of them. Murdered in Treblinka. So the Jewish community, they told her,
you are a liar, you are not here. So what's happened there?
She's also on the memorial, their name is also on the memorial of in Stip. In Stip there's a very nice memorial for the Holocaust. And her name is also there. So it's an amazing,
remarkable story.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
so
a story full of traumas, full of miracles also.
Wow. So you wrote a book about her. You wrote it on Hebrew, right?
Yeah.
Then it was translated on Albanian. Now it will be translated on Macedonia. When we can see it in the?
Hopefully soon, in 2 months or maybe 2-3 months, maybe it will published in here. I hope.
There will be some kind
I'm
of
working on it.
presentation.
I'm working on it. Maybe for the March 11, if we'll be lucky to be on time for the Memorial Day in Macedonia.
How is now Miss Shala?
She's getting old.
Yes, but
tired.
But she still remembers
But
everything.
she's still,
and she's,
yeah, you know, after she started to speak up in her 70s, she did a lot of memorial she gave testimonies a lot for big audience, and she was a witness. She was a witness. She had lectures. She did lectures, and she, you know, after the long silence, she spoke up a lot to commemorate her dear ones, her family, and also her community, and the Jews in Macedonia, because she knew there is no one to tell. There's no one to tell because of the extermination was so large in Macedonia. So little left. So she felt the duty, and I also was very strongly about that. You are almost the only one that can commemorate.
You must explain your story.
Yeah, you must tell the story. And I pushed her against her husband's protection.
And all the family probably.
And all the family was shocked that she's speaking, but it made her good. It gave her relief. And you know, we keep saying never again, and we tell the stories of the Holocaust for remember and for stop the hatred and the anti-Semitism around the world, but still, it's still happening. And 2 years ago, it cut us so deeply with the massacre of the October 7, and it brought back all the trauma of the Holocaust in Israel. It was almost like experience the trauma of the Holocaust again, and the whole country was in a big, deep shock, and that's why I think, you know, more stronger about spreading it, the stories, the testimonies, and to stop the hate crime and acts, because and anti-Semitism, which is so important, because you see the coincidence, the results of the hatred everywhere.
You think
everywhere in the
that
world.
today in Europe there are signs of anti-Semitism in Europe?
In Europe, a lot. The massacre of the October 7 just brought up all the hatred and the anti-Semitism again. And instead of, you know, empathize with the Israelis, what they suffered and what they are suffering all the time with the hatred against them. Only a small country at the size of New Jersey, as they said, you know, as a small neighborhood in the States. It's such a small, harmless country that gives a lot of things, good things to the world, invention and science and medics, and of all the fields. It gives a lot to the world, good things to the world, Israel. Harmless.
Yeah, but on the other side, we saw some pictures from Middle East which are not
so right, because this is war. But we didn't ask for war. But war is terrible.
Terrible, of course.
Yeah,
so,
war is terrible.
Again about Miss Shela, she still knows Macedonian language?
Yes.
How is it possible?
She speaks home with her husband. She speaks Serbo-Croatian. And with the children, they spoke. Also, my husband knows Serbo-Croatian.
Is that normal in Israel?
And when we came to Macedonia, we came through Sofia because we don't have direct flight from Tel Aviv.
You came from Bulgaria?
So she heard at the airport the Bulgarian. She said, I understand. I know Bulgarian as well. So she knows Bulgarians. She knows Serbo-Croatians. So she can understand
She never forget it?
No.
After so many years,
Well, all these years she was with the Yugoslavian people from Yugoslavia, so she spoke the language.
From Yugoslavian heritage, let's say,
yes.
in Israel.
Yeah, the
You
ex-Yugoslavia
don't have any
countries.
Yugoslavian heritage. You're exactly from
No.
Israel.
Yeah, my vocabulary in your language is very limited.
You should learn Macedonian.
I learn.
You will try.
I learn.
Well, Miss Алтарац, thank you for this conversation. I must say I'm very deeply touched, if I can say. This is really remarkable and so tragic story. So my wish is to simply to give that to our viewers to understand what wrong political decision could do to even all population of like this example of the Jews. Can you tell us something for the end of this interview? Some kind of message?
Yeah. Well, may these victims of hatred will be blessed and be lost.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Doviđenja.
Да, јас морам да ви признавам, почитувани гледачи, дека сум потресен од разговорот со господјата Ефрат Барух Алтарац. Што да кажам повеќе, погледнавте и сами една навистина необична сторија за животот, за волјата за преживување во најтешки моменти од постоењето, едно мало деличе кое по некоја чудо на судбината успеало да преживее невидени трагедии и успеала да преживее, да обстане, да го продолжи својот пат, ете во Израел, се уште е жива, да остане здрава и жива и посакувам уште долго и да им остави во наследство на своите деца, меѓутоа и воопшто на човештвото, својата приказна, својата историја која што не треба да биде заборавена. И оваа емисија веројатно е токму во тој правец. Во секој случај ви благодарам за вниманието со кое што не следевте. Утре во 15 часот се разбира репризното издание, а јас ви се посакувам пријатна ноќ.